Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful evening or morning wherever you are. Today I'm going to be talking about how I achieved a top 1% physique and dropped 30 pounds in just 90 days while working a 9 to 5 and training just 3 hours a week. You can see me here in 2022 when I first began my gym journey, and then me at the end of 2023, lean, best shape of my life really at this time, and then me towards the end of 2024, still going strong. So before we keep going, my name is Min, and I'm going to be showing you the exact changes that turned me from this typical skinny fat guy with zero confidence to me here in 2023, lean, my ego was high, and I was in the best shape of my life. And this was all through losing 30 pounds in less than 3 months while working and studying 55 to 60 hours a week. So a little bit about me. In 2022, I began a new internship working full-time while studying part-time in university. But I also began to take my health more seriously around the same time. But the problem I faced was that I was highly motivated, but I felt like I didn't really have any time anymore to make it happen, right? To get that physique that I've always wanted. So my solution, I spent the next 6 to 12 months fine-tuning a routine that would A, maximize my results, and B, minimize the time actually spent training and dieting. You should also know that my health is everything to me, but the gym is not, okay? The gym is not my life. My approach to fitness is practical and focused on time efficiency. I only do things that actually matter, so there's no stupid diets, no ice baths, and no 3-hour workouts. In this video, I'll try my best to give you actionable advice to get you in shape, which you can take and start doing literally in the next 24 hours. So if you can't even pay attention to this 20-minute video, you should probably click off now. So why should you even take your health seriously or want to lose weight? Health benefits aside, how much would you value being respected by people before you even talk to them? Having the confidence to take your shirt off in public or wear any suit proudly? How much would you value being stress-free and actually having the energy to spend time with your family? And how much would you value literally adding years to your life? For most people, that last one is priceless, right? But then tell me why. Almost no one around you is choosing the free alternative for something that we agree is priceless. And that alternative is getting in shape. Because when you finally start committing yourself to the gym and removing your bad habits, all of these benefits will come to you, yet no one seems to want to do it. So why should you act now? Growing up, I was always the kid who was overweight. Of course, I wanted the abs. Of course, I wanted that lean, muscular physique, but I never had that willpower or discipline to do it. And nothing was more humbling than shopping for clothes because I'd find something nice, I'd try it on, and then it'd be too tight around my thighs, my stomach would stick out. And at that point, I wouldn't even want to buy anything anymore. And this is something that still affects me to this day. And I still think about that when I go shopping. But losing over 30 pounds showed me the harsh reality of the world, which is your visual appearance and how you present yourself is everything. When I lost weight, it was like I went from invisible to visible. It was like a flip switch. People legitimately started treating me better once I got my dream body. People were nicer, gave me respect, and my day-to-day just became easier. I get compliments, steroid accusations, and people were actually interested in me once I got my dream body, right? And literally this was all because I actually decided to put myself first and, take my health seriously and get fit. So if that's convinced you to start taking fitness seriously, let's keep going. I want to talk about who this is for first. So if you're always tired, relying on takeout, and missing workouts because of your work, this is for you. If you've always wanted six-pack abs or to take your shirt off at the beach with confidence, this is for you. If you're excelling in your career, getting promotions, but feel like your body isn't keeping up with that same level of success, this is for you. Or if you're simply looking for a routine that will actually get you results without sacrificing your career or social life, this is for you. Now, who this is not for. If you're looking for an easy shortcut to getting abs and not ready to put in the hard work, this is not for you. If you're only wanting to get shredded without considering the mindset, habits and the discipline it actually takes to get there, this is not for you. And if you're only going to execute half of the advice I say instead of 100%, you aren't going to see results, first of all, and this is not for you. And lastly, if you're only here to keep making excuses as to why you can't make progress or get your dream body, this is not for you. Now, here's the truth about getting shredded while working a 9 to 5 that no one is going to tell you. I want you to get rid of this limiting belief that it's not that you don't have enough time, it's that you don't have a routine that works for you. And if you're a busy office worker or entrepreneur, I can guarantee you now, speaking from my own experience, that you don't need to sacrifice your career or freedom to get your dream body. Yet most people who work a 9 to 5 will never see results because they don't realize work isn't the reason you're too tired to train. The reason you're too tired is because you don't train at all. You don't actually need to spend 2 to 3 hours in the gym each day, and you don't need to starve yourself or eat boring food in order to lose weight. But I don't blame anyone for thinking like this, because idiots on social media will make you think it's your fault. And that's because they don't understand the struggles of actually working a 9 to 5. But I promise you, there is a way, and if you're watching this video, I am almost certain you have all the tools to make this change happen right now. So if you want to be that person, I'm going to show you exactly how to optimize muscle growth by training just 3 hours a week, how to diet effectively and lose fat through a simple nutrition framework, how to build long-lasting habits you can literally implement tomorrow, and maintain a self-operating routine that takes no time to get you results on autopilot. And in case you don't know me, here's a quick backstory of how I actually got here. So I always struggled with skinny fat and having no confidence when I was younger. Ages 12 to 19, I never really took my health seriously. I pretty much ate whatever I wanted. And embarrassingly, this was me at 18 years old, typical skinny fat kid. Didn't really watch what I ate, stepped foot into the gym maybe once or twice my entire life. Fast forward to 2022, I landed an internship while also studying in university. And I was at a point in my life where my career was taking off, but my body was falling behind. And I was sick of feeling depressed and having zero confidence. But despite that, I felt like I had no time to actually commit to training and diet. So my first year, I pretty much got into the gym, but I ignored my diet completely. And this led to pretty poor results. You can see me here. I had been a year into training and I was still not confident at all with taking my shirt off. I was still the same weight, still had the same amount of fat. I was just getting better in the gym. Start of 2023, I finally committed to losing weight and I stuck to a diet and it started to pay off. I was making progress. You can see me here down about 4 or 5 kilograms, finally getting that lean body that I always wanted. But in early 2023, I was diagnosed with alopecia. And this completely derailed me. It felt so unfair that when I finally started to make progress, I had this new body image issue. So while I should have been enjoying, this new confidence that I was getting from getting a better body, I was now highly self-conscious of losing my hair. But despite this, I persevered, I trusted the routine and the systems that I built for myself, and I knew what I had to do. I continued to put in the work, and by the end of 2023, I was in the best shape of my life, despite still working, partying, and drinking consistently. How? Because I preach what I say, and I found a routine that worked for my schedule and my goals, right? And in 2024, I shifted my focus from my body to more on my mindset and experience. I traveled the world, I pursued other hobbies, but as a result, my physique suffered the consequences. End of 2024, I applied my systems once again and I achieved elite results. This was me, I think, a week after my final trip to New York. So it was around August of 2024. And in 2 months, I basically shape-shifted my body. This was me October or November of 2024. You can see I lost a lot of weight and there was way more definition around my abs. But working in an office also made me realize something. It's that people do want to be fit. they just feel like they have no time to train or diet, which is the exact problem I had. So that's why in late 2024, I founded Fan Coaching, so I could use social media to educate busy people, and I've been transforming lives ever since. Additionally, I went on holidays at the end of 2024 and I ate without restriction. So once again, I went overseas. You can see me here once I got back January 2025. I was so bloated. I had no definition. But once again, I applied my systems, and in 1.5 months, I made yet another insane transformation. So this is to show you this isn't luck. I can do this anytime I want. So if this is something you want to replicate, I can show you exactly how I do it. So what is my method? I achieved a top 1% physique through using the 5-habit method, a system built through years of trial and error with the goal of completely optimizing my routine. This is a structured plan which can be integrated into any work schedule and is perfect for busy professionals who want to create a healthier lifestyle. Now, I've decided to give you the full blueprint. I'm going to show you the exact process from A to Z of what I did to achieve these results, so you can also integrate the 5-habit method to build muscle and lose 20 to 30 pounds of fat without sacrificing your career or lifestyle. So what is the 5-habit method? The 5-habit method is a task-based approach to building long-lasting habits that will bring you closer to your goal each day. They are ranked by importance, and we want to build up to the point where we can do all 5 habits as part of our daily routine. You can see all 5 habits here. Most important is 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Second is tracking your calorie goal, then hitting 10,000 steps daily. Fourth is 45 minutes of training or cardio. And then 5 is hitting a protein goal. So what does this actually mean? It means if you get to the point where you can run these 5 habits daily, you will without fail get results. And that is something I can promise you, it will happen if you can do all of these 5 every day. Why is this? It's because these 5 habits are high leverage tasks, meaning they do the most for you towards achieving your dream body. And if you think that sounds easy, that's because it is, and you'll be doing more than 98% of people when it comes to muscle building and fat loss if you can actually execute these every single day. Now let's get into how you can actually apply this. Let's look at a simple transformation roadmap. Number 1, it's all about reframing your mindset, finding your personal why behind fitness and the value of achieving your dream body. 2, you want to set your habits. Gamify the tasks that move you closer to your goal and integrate those 5 foundational habits to push you forward each day. 3, build your diet/training foundation. Set a realistic calorie goal for fat loss and use a high-frequency training split to maximize results while reducing your time spent in the gym. Then 4, long-term sustainability. So you want to identify the challenges to your routine and the strategies to overcome them, and then turn these daily habits into an autonomous part of your lifestyle through consistency. The goal is to be able to tick these off like you're on autopilot. So first things first, fitness is not a short-term project. Fitness is a lifestyle, right? That's the biggest thing you need to learn when it comes to reframing your mindset. Fitness isn't something you do for 3 to 6 months and you forget about it. Once you start this, there is no going back, okay? Eating healthy, training hard, sleeping good, that should be your norm. That should be your normal everyday life. Your life right now, or your life before this, eating out, watching Netflix, staying up, that is not the normal, and that's not something you should want to go back to, okay? It's more than just getting abs and looking better than everyone else shirtless on the beach, although that's also pretty important in my opinion. So this is why your why matters more than you think. We all want the abs and the lean body, but that is just surface level. You need to have a deeper why when it comes to achieving a dream body. I'll give you my personal example. This doesn't need to be your why, but this is something that has been driving me so hard for the last couple of years. So to me, it is the highest form of self-love/self-respect. I will happily choose the hard route every day if it means my future self gets that dream body, right? And that's because I think that I deserve no less, right? I don't deserve a fat body. I deserve to be healthy and fit and look good. And my body is a direct reflection of the amount of self-love and self-respect that I have for myself. So next, we have setting your habits. If you want to make serious progress, you need to master the 5 foundational habits. These are the building blocks to reaching your dream body. The biggest problem with most fitness coaches is that they give you a huge list of what you have to do and expect you to do them all straight away. And this is probably why you're failing, because how can you expect someone who's never tracked their calories or trained consistently in their life to suddenly pick up a ton of new healthy habits? I don't expect you to be smashing all 5 habits the moment you start, but you do need to be able to work your way up. So as an example for beginners, let's say you struggle with sleep. For the first 1 or 2 weeks, focus only on sleep, right? Every single night, try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep consistently. If you can do that, weeks 3 to 4, try to hit a calorie goal. If you've never tracked calories in your life, it's a lot harder than you think. So, you might even spend a month learning how to track your calories. Then weeks 4 to 8, then you can start implementing things like actually increasing your steps, increasing how much you train throughout the week, and then also your hitting your protein goal. Let's say you're a bit more experienced, like maybe your sleep is already good, maybe you've been training for a couple years already. Weeks 1 to 2, start with a couple more, get your sleep in order, track your calories, and try to train consistently. But maybe you've never tried to hit a protein goal, right? So then weeks 3 to 6, you can start trying to hit a protein goal every week. And you can try to be more consciously active as well to get those 10,000 steps. We want to get to a point where these habits feel natural and you can run them on autopilot. Next, we have training and diet foundation. Now, I'm not here to tell you to train harder or eat less to lose weight. Obviously, if you wanted to, you could just look that up. I'm here to give you actual advice that worked for me, and hopefully you can implement something similar into your routine. So how do I adapt my training? I'm going to compare 2 splits here. We have the traditional split, which most people use, which is push-pull legs. And we have the upper-lower split, which is the split I've been using for a couple months and I've seen the most progress on. The biggest difference is that with a traditional split like push-pull legs, you're committing 6 to 8 hours every week, right? You only have one rest day, and each workout is usually an hour to 1.5 hours. Whereas with the upper-lower split, it is a 3-hour commitment. So you have a lot of rest days. You're only training 4 days a week, and it's 45 minutes per workout. So it fits into any schedule effortlessly, and you have plenty of rest days. If you have social commitments, whatever they are, you have plenty of days where you don't need to train. The next thing is that with a traditional split like PPL, you are training many days in a row, which leads to high central nervous system fatigue. You can see you're training in blocks of 3, right? You're hitting your push, which is chest, triceps, and shoulders. You're training your pull, which is like biceps and back. Then you're training your legs. And then you have one rest day in the week, and then you do it all again. And what you need to know about CNS fatigue is that it's going to make you constantly tired. Even if you don't think you're tired, your workouts will be affected, right? You're training 2 other days before you hit your legs. Do you really think that your leg workout is going to be as efficient as, when you're fresh, when you're hitting that push workout? So you're only, one more thing, you're only hitting the same muscle group again every 4 days. So let's say you hit your chest on that push day, 24, 48, 72, 96. You're only hitting that same muscle group again every 96 hours, and your muscles recover much quicker than that. So it's actually inefficient if you're training like this, right? Let's compare it to the upper lower split where on your upper body day, you're training chest, right? Then 24, 48, 72. And that aligns with that 48 to 72 hour muscle recovery window. Another thing with the upper lower split is that it's high frequency. That means you hit muscles more often throughout the week, right? And that's advantageous for beginners looking to build muscle more quickly. So if you're struggling with finding a workout split that will target all your muscle groups effectively, the upper lower split is perfect, right? For any busy schedule. As in summary, It takes less time throughout the week. It minimizes fatigue and gives you plenty of rest days, and it's better for muscle building as it optimizes recovery windows. Now let's move on to diet. So, how I followed a structured diet. Realistically, the best diet is one that you can actually stick to. So my approach to eating is all about making it as easy and sustainable for yourself. Think about what challenges you might face with following a diet. For me, I struggle with being hungry the most, so I focus on volume eating to try and stay as full as possible. Cravings, I have a sweet tooth, so I try my best to find sweet alternatives for my diet. And blandness, sometimes your meals will be boring. That's just how it is. But the sauce method, which I'll get into a bit later, is something that can help with that. And then laziness, you need to learn how to meal prep efficiently because it will save you so much time. Now, I've got a couple examples from what I ate, I think 2 or 3 days ago. But for breakfast, this literally took me 5 minutes to make and five or 10 minutes to eat. I got pre-cooked chicken breasts from Aldi, low-calorie bread, and I added peri-peri mayo, and then there was like tomato and spinach or something. But you're not going to struggle with cravings, or you're not going to be tempted to DoorDash food if you have, meal options that you can literally make in 5 minutes, right? Things like this are so quick to make. You're not going to struggle with like, oh, maybe I should order food. Maybe I should, prep the rice, cook the meat, whatever. You need to have options available that are quick and easy for you to make. Now, I also struggle with a really, really bad sweet tooth. I need like some kind of dessert after dinner. And what I found for me are these Greek yogurt balls. So this is what I usually do is 200 to 300 grams of Greek yogurt. I add a scoop of protein powder. I add blueberries or strawberries, mangoes, whatever it is. And then I add honey or sugar-free syrup. And for me, this satisfies my cravings completely. Like this is exactly what I need after dinner as like my final meal. And this is perfect for that. It might not work for you, but there are other sugar-free options or healthy dessert options that you can find that will actually work for your diet. And lastly, I want to talk about volume eating. So this was, I think, my dinner for one of the nights. It was 400 grams of cauliflower rice and then 250 grams of diced steak. And what volume eating is basically just eating more for less calories, right? This is almost 700 grams of food. Like that is a lot to eat in one sitting. But calorically, that's not actually that much. I think the total calories for this meal was like 450 or something, right? Which is insane. Like you're eating pretty much 2 portions worth of food, and the actual calories you're consuming is like nothing. So you need to master volume eating. That just basically means swapping out your carbs for things like potatoes, like here cauliflower rice. And with potatoes, you can do mashed potatoes, you can do boiled potatoes, you can do air fried potatoes. There's just so many ways to maximize the amount of food you're eating. And now talk about the sauce method as well. The sauce method is basically just finding good low-calorie sauces to pair with your meals, since you won't always have time to make something good, right? Especially when I'm in a rush, I might only pack something like steak and rice to work. So having sauce options available to me at work, at home, or on the go will help keep my meals more interesting, even if it's really simple like steak and rice or steak and potatoes. Now, these are the current sauces that I use. The sugar-free syrup is for these sweet bowls. Right now, I really, really like this Nando's mayo sauce. It is kind of high in calories compared to the other sauces, but I mean, look, it's better than normal mayo. And then this I am Thai sweet chili sauce is so clutch. This is like 4 calories for 20 grams. So you can put a shit ton on any food you eat. I put it on, I usually pair it with like Asian dishes like rice paper rolls, and it's perfect for that. And I've also been using this Mexican like spicy sauce, and I put that basically on anything, like the cauliflower bowl, potatoes, steak, rice. It just pairs so well. So, if you don't know what sauces to get, here are a couple options that you can use. So sometimes less is more. As I developed my routine, I found that spending less time in the gym was getting me more results. Why? Because I wasn't overtraining, I wasn't spending 2 hours in the gym, and that gave me time to focus on building my diet, spending more time doing cardio, and actually getting enough sleep to keep this routine operating. I hate the way I looked, and I felt like there was no escape for me due to how much I was working. This led me to training longer to compensate and get results quicker. But I only started making true progress once I reframed my mindset and developed a healthy relationship with the gym and food. I also began to use fitness as a way to enhance my life rather than to consume it. Now that you know how this process works, I have an offer for you. If you're someone with a busy schedule who wants to lose weight and build muscle and feel confident, or if you want a structured training/diet plan with actionable steps to get you results and are ready to commit to finally get those six-pack abs, I will help you build muscle and lose 20 to 30 pounds of fat in 180 days or less through mastering the 5 habit method. And I will guarantee you results or you get a complete refund. So I have a booking link in the description below. You can check it out to see if we're a good fit to work with each other. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope it was informative regardless. And I hope to see you guys in the next one as well. So peace.